What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Dustin Poirier gets called out. While Dustin Poirier's recent loss to Justin Gaethje may have knocked the former interim champ down in the 155-pound rankings, it doesn't appear as though the Diamond has lost any of his star power following the knockout loss. After opening the door to a potential move to welterweight, Poirier has since found himself called out by none other than former title challenger Gilbert Burns, who'll be looking to return to the octagon and bounce back from a loss to Belal Muhammad the next time he steps into the octagon. Early on in that fight, Burns injured his shoulder, leading to surgery that has kept him sidelined since May. As he set his sights on a return to the octagon, he took to Twitter to call for a fight with Poirier by posting a series of emojis showing raised hands along with a photo of Poirier's tweet asking fans who he should fight next. Of course, as Poirier tweeted recently, he is no longer interested in making the jump to 170 pounds, citing the size difference between he and fighters who cut down to 170 pounds. With Poirier chomping at the bit to put his latest loss behind him, who do you want to see the UFC veteran compete against in his next fight? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. MMA managers are in trouble? While Sugar Sean O'Malley has been very vocal about his disdain for managers in the MMA industry, there could be some massive trouble on the horizon for managers thanks to the UFC's antitrust lawsuit. According to court documents, which were broken down to layman's terms by attorney Eric McGracken, who has continued to simplify the biggest details of the case, a judge's ruling to unseal all of the discovered documents in the case could spell trouble for managers. According to widespread rumors, managers in the industry have breached their fiduciary duties to their clients by accepting lowball offers in order to gain favor with the UFC. While these have been merely rumors, the unsealing of documents would publicize all of the alleged proof. As McGracken explained,
the courts hold that if you're a combat sports manager, you owe a fiduciary duty to your client. In simple terms, all that means is you have to put your client's economic interests first, not yours. So if you're trying to line your pockets at the expense of your client's interests, you're in breach of fiduciary duty. You're not only risking to get sued, but you're risking to get run out of the sport.
As McGracken went on to explain, if the unsealing of discovery documents proves the rumors to be true, things could get shaken up in the industry for managers. Stay tuned for updates as they become available. Shout out to our first comments on yesterday's video. Thanks for the support. Merab Dvalishvili slams UFC for Sean O'Malley vs Chito Vera. Although all signs pointed to Aljamain Sterling making the jump to 145 pounds after his UFC 292 fight with Sugar Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili is now preparing for the possibility that his teammate and the newly crowned champion may run things back before he gets his crack at the belt. In addition to the looming possibility of a rematch between these two, it sounds as though the champion is eager to settle his score with longtime rival Marlon Chito Vera, who remains the only man to hold a victory over him. According to The Machine, the only things that make sense for O'Malley are either a rematch with the former champ or a fight with him. He spoke during a recent interview with the Schmo.
Chito is joke. He's not even top 5, man. And then, yeah, he got dominated from Corey Sanhagan right before, and now he's coming like a boring fight winning. So yeah, everybody agreed that he don't deserve the title fight, and yeah, everybody know that I beat 2 former champion back to back. Yeah, so if O'Malley don't wanna wait, or if some reason he's gonna fight somebody else, then I'm the next guy. You know, like why there is no one else other than Aljo should fight O'Malley. You know, there is no one else. Either O'Malley should fight either Aljo or me.
The UFC's official rankings certainly seem to back up Dvalishvili, with the Funkmaster sitting as the #1 contender and he sitting as the #2 ranked fighter. With plenty of options, who do you want to see the UFC book O'Malley to fight for his first title defense? Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Khabib reflects on Justin Gaethje fight. While Khabib Nurmagomedov's UFC career may have been cut abruptly short following the tragic passing of his father, the Hall of Famer fought a who's who of the lightweight division during his run. From fights with Rafael dos Anjos and Edson Barboza on his climb up the ladder to his title defenses against Conor McGregor and Justin Gaethje, the Eagle has been in the octagon with some of the UFC's best. During a recent interview with Patrick Bet David, Nurmagomedov named Justin Gaethje as the hardest puncher he's ever faced, stating,
I think it was Justin Gaethje, he hit like truck. But it was one thing what breaks him. Like when he hit me, like I remember it was right uppercut and left hook. Like it was his best shot in the fight. And I told him like, brother, this is everything what you have.
That's what you told
I
him?
was talk with him, like it was conversation inside the cage. I like Justin Gaethje, you know, like, and I was talk with him, like after this combination, I tell him, bro, this is everything what you have. And end of the first round, he start to like tired, and I told him, bro, this is jet lag because you come to Abu Dhabi 1 week before the fight. I'm here 1 month.
Of course, Nurmagomedov went on to win the fight, famously stating after the fact that he made the conscious decision to submit Gaethje with a triangle choke rather than breaking his arm in front of his parents. Before we continue, make sure you give that like button some love and be sure to subscribe to the MMA Zone for all of the latest news. UFC fight updates. Several new fights have reportedly been added to upcoming UFC cards this week. Without further ado, let's jump right into the latest UFC fight updates. First up on the calendar, we have a UFC 293 scrap between Nasrat Haqparast and Landon Quinones on September 9th. The bout will see Haqparast look to keep the momentum going after a decision victory over John Makdessi back in September, while Quinones looks to make his successful UFC debut. Next up, we have an update to Noche UFC on September 16th. After some scrambling, the UFC has booked Josh Fremont to compete against Roman Kopylov. The fight will see Kopylov look to extend his recent 3-fight winning streak that most recently saw him knock out Claudio Ribeiro, while on the flip side, Fremont will be entering the short notice contest looking to build on a 2-fight win streak that recently saw him defeat Jamie Pickett. Last but certainly not least, we have a scheduled bout between Gabriel Bonfim and Nicholas Dalby, which is set for UFC Sao Paulo on November 4th. The bout will see Bonfim look to continue his unbeaten streak, while Dalby will look to extend a 3-fight win streak that recently saw him defeat Muslim Sakilov. Drop your predictions for these reported fights below. MMA community reacts to Dana White's comment. After UFC 292, UFC President Dana White was pretty open about the fact that he believes it's time for former champion Chris Weidman to retire. After suffering one of the most horrific injuries in the sport against Uriah Hall, Weidman recently made his return to the octagon at UFC 292, where he was defeated by Brad Tavares. While many agreed with White's assessment, others disagreed. UFC Hall of Famer Michael Bisping weighed in this week, concluding that Weidman should probably retire after his latest loss, given that he's gone just 2-6 since losing the belt. He spoke in a recent video for his YouTube channel about the situation.
So I don't enjoy saying this. But I do think probably Weidman should retire. I mean, he's not going to become a champion again. Of course, we do this for money.
On the flip side, Weidman has indicated that he has no plans of retiring. According to fellow veteran Matt Brown, there's no need for Weidman to retire quite yet. The veteran spoke on a recent episode of The Fighter vs. The Writer to give his thoughts on the matter.
I'm not sure why Dana is saying that, but you said he's entitled to his own opinion. And, Dana's a strong opinionated guy, and, it just kind of is what it is, And I think also Dana's, he likes to see guys performing at their best too, right? Especially the guys that he likes. I mean, he doesn't like seeing guys go out there and not perform at their best. And that's why, I can't say it too many times. Like, I think it was Brad Tavares. I think Chris Weidman was performing or had the potential to perform very well, but Brad Tavares took that away from him.
With Weidman eager to snap his current skid, who do you want to see him fight next? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. UFC fighter fails drug test. Recently, news surfaced that Mayra Bueno Silva had failed a drug test stemming from her recent victory over former champion Holly Holm. Although Bueno Silva has since revealed that the failure stems from a prescription ADHD medication that USADA was aware of, the Nevada State Athletic Commission still flagged her. As such, Juliana Pena was quick to call her out on Twitter, calling the contender a cheat. #Chitara, living up to your nickname. Back to being a curtain jerker of an Apex card you go. You fought 2 41-year-olds this year, and you had to cheat in order to get it done. Can't pass a drug test? Keep my name out of your mouth, you dumb broad. The tweet quickly made its way around the fight community, earning a response from Bueno Silva, who laughed off the former champion while also setting a stern warning in a recent interview with MMA Fighting.
I love Juliana. She's funny. She's funny, but I promise you, I don't go finish. I don't go knockout Juliana. I will smash Juliana for 5 rounds. She need help. Your coach take your total in the octagon because I will smash Juliana for 5 rounds. I promise.
With the belt currently sitting vacant, it'll be interesting to see how the UFC handles things going forward. Stay tuned for updates as they become available. And now for our breaking news story of the day. We have the MMA community slamming Sean O'Malley for his relationship. On a recent podcast called Raw Talk with Bradley Martin, Sean O'Malley said since he pays for everything, he can cheat on his wife, who he shares a kid with, when he wants. Let's take a listen.
Monogamy is just like what they've pushed on us since we were kids, so anything you think different's fucked up, and no one else really lives that lifestyle, so it's fucked up. It's complicated though.
Well, remember I asked you the question about like, would you let another, like if you believe that, would you let another guy be with your girl? You said no though.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening.
Yeah, nah. So that's
I'm a king. I pay for everything. I treat Danny like a queen. If I get a little puss on the side, what does that have to do with anything? I got testosterone running through my veins. That's fucking simple. Danny's never fine with it. I mean, she has been. She's gone through phases. Then we have a baby, and then her hormones change, and then it's like this and that.
Fans on Twitter reacted to the situation, and they don't seem too happy. One fan said, "That's so low of him. Why say this in public?" And another fan said, "Aw man, here I was liking the kid. I know he's young, but God bro, just be single then? Why you get married to drag her out? Sounds basic." Someone else said, "A relationship should be one of respect and love. There should be no power dynamics. You two are a team. You're not in competition for power. Act like it. This is how we create powerful families that last lifetimes. If I choose to pay for everything, that's on me. Doesn't mean I should have the power to disrespect someone I supposedly love. Why would you want to even do that to someone who is your best friend? Just unloyal." Shaking my head. And for more breaking news, it was exposed that Khabib demanded $5 million for a return grappling match in the UFC with George St. Pierre. Craig Jones revealed on the El Segundo podcast with Gunnar Nelson that Khabib simply wanted too much money. Here's what he had to say.
I remember I was with the Fight Pass guys, and they were trying to ask me for opponents for GSP for ideas, and I had no idea who would be. I was just like, obviously I said Khabib. I think they said Khabib wanted $5 million to do the grappling match. Oh wow. I was like, whoa. Obviously that's priced himself out there. Hey.
Top comments. Tony versus Conor is actually the fight we didn't know we needed. Perfect for both fighters. Conor honestly isn't ready for any of the top guys like Justin, Dustin, or even Chandler. And that's a fight either guy could win at this stage in their career. This lawsuit won't ruin the UFC, but it will ruin Dana's blackjack game. Who is Cody Garbrandt to predict anyone's downfall? He's not even there to have a downfall, let alone predict someone else's. What a clown. Someone responded with, "He's an expert on downfalls." That was pretty funny. If you want to be featured on our next video, make sure to leave a comment and don't forget to check out yesterday's video in case you missed it.